Day. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016. One day after I did the control back there. And I've got another deposit to make, so we're heading back. Michael's with me this time, and I want to show people in the future how to come back and check on this. Come across this bridge, across the Little Chamita River, Little Chamita Creek. The entrance to the refuge is there. Must be close to 10 o'clock, a little bit before 10 o'clock. The sun's right there. And straight behind me, you'll see some sunflowers, some daisy type things, brown-eyed Susans or something. There's a little trail that goes straight up that way, cross over, and then you'll find a trail that skirts through the edge of the gully. We're going to go in that beautiful gully area between the north-facing slope on this side and the south-facing slope on this side. And I'll make a deposit. We'll do a coyote-style planting, and then Michael and I are going to go up and check out that big stand of what might be sudden aspen death. We'll find that out today. Just walked up from the Little Chamita Creek down there. Here's a little trail, elk trail, probably some, well, deer too, some local horses, but an important thing to know, you don't go very far, and then you see this old log decaying there. There's actually a split. The main trail goes in that direction. Turn left right at this log and follow the trail. Gets better. Easier to see as you get to the top of the ridge. You'll be able to look down, and ultimately we'll be going in that direction. Okay, we've just walked through that gully. You can see a bit of the elk human trail in the very center of the picture. Come up this ridge. Another good landmark here is this solitary tree, Rocky Mountain juniper. And Michael is continuing. It's not too visible here, but pretty soon it turns into the elk superhighway. And we'll be going up just a little beyond the rise for me to make a deposit and us to do coyote-style assisted migration. And then, as it starts to cloud up this afternoon, we'll come back, and in this area here, I'll do the control. Both are north-facing slopes, but this will be where the control and over the rise will be coyote-style. Let's go.
Connie, depositing coyote-style.
Success! Straight ahead is the Douglas fir where I sit under in the rain. Here's the elk superhighway. Here's the Ponderosa Pine where I always sit. And so all of the coyote-style is going to be from here looking westward on this north-facing slope. Coyote-style, drawn from that mound over there. And I'm going to do the control, that is the elk style, equivalent to seed spitting, just crunching them, the seeds out of the dry berries and planting them one by one on the north-facing slope in this direction. We're packed up and heading back up valley to explore unknown territory. That's the Ponderosa pine tree right in the center there where we always stop. Up in this shrubby area mostly, and along the side of this kind of forested area here, I planted the seeds, and probably at least half, maybe 2/3 up in that next very, very shrubby area. Mostly not Gambel Oaks in there, but other kinds of shrubs. And the planting ends in that area. I didn't go any farther than that. And then here's the valley we're headed out, and ultimately for those aspen trees. Here is a beautiful ant mound. Everywhere I've seen mounds like this is the biggest one I've seen. They're all kind of small black ants. They're not the big red harvester ants. But you can see how these ants are busy getting the holes to air out their nest after the rains we've been having. This is about the 4th day of the monsoon. Arrived about 2 or 3 weeks late this summer. But that's basically, we're about 2 o'clock. Every afternoon the clouds gather. We're probably close to 11:30 or so now. And the clouds are gathering there in the, let's see, that would be northeast. And we've still got blue sky over here. So Michael and I are on our way to check out that bigger area of dead aspens. Here's the cream-colored Indian paintbrush, and anywhere that's full sun, just like this, I only seen the cream-colored. I see the more typical orange-red colored one only in the shade underneath trees, but you can see we've got pure sun out here. Again, we're still heading in that direction. We've been seeing these leaf structures a lot along the way, and after these rains, we've now got the family Asteraceae, daisy family, formerly called Compositae. We've got them coming out now. And right next to them over here, a group of iris stems, and of course, the cinquefoil. We're down in the bottom of the gully, and there's the sedges over there. The intermittent creek that normally you wouldn't even see running, it just soaks into the ground here, is that darker brown area. So here's where we came from. This is the main ridge, and over there I have the west-facing control, and from a week before that, Coyote-style assisted migration over on that slope there. This is the way the ski trail, cross-country ski trail, comes through. And this is a very, very broad valley, very easy to walk through here. Yesterday I came over that ridge and then explored right in the center of the picture the dead trees in that rather small aspen stand where I was able to get to. It was starting to thunder and lightning, so I left. So I didn't thoroughly explore it. But to the left there, that's where Michael and I are headed now. We'll explore that one. So let me go a little close here. I was really just exploring the left-hand side of this place where the mature aspens were dead and dying, but the younger ones are okay. But this area here looks like it's more consistently death. So we'll go in there and explore. Now, yesterday when I walked from there up onto that little ridge there and over, it was full of prairie dogs on the side slope there, just everywhere, and they were yelling at me. I didn't expect to see any prairie dogs here, but somebody made an incredible mound. Looks like it was prairie dogs, but it looks like they're not living here anymore. And there's just nothing else out here. So,
There's this one over here.
oh, and that one's got a beautiful composite on it. Yeah, let's take a look. There was no recent action on that one over there. Let's see what this one shows.
Rained yesterday.
Yeah, but still, they ought to come out and there ought to be little footprints.
Yeah, you think.
Yeah. Huh. All right. There, hear the sound? It's over on that slope there. I found if I walked through, they tended not to yell at me, but if I stopped to take some pictures of the distance or flowers or something or trees, boom, they would start in if I stopped in their area. All right, let's continue. We just came to another prairie dog area. Look at the flowers that grow here compared to all the grasses that are out there. No wildflowers out there. Here they are in the disturbed soils of the, oh, this is also that, this looks like what I called Arctostaphylos yesterday's. Heath family, Asteraceae, related to manzanita, something you'd find in a dry zone. I don't see any activity here, but look at those beautiful flowers right at the entrance there. But what got us to look here is that, yeah, you can see it. Look at this amazing prairie dog trail. Here's my foot for scale here. Okay, so that is a rodent trail. Quite beautiful, going there through the grasses. Anyway, they're just such delights out here. Let's continue. So we found actually some visible water here in a very vertical little gully, and Michael is getting his shirt sleeves wet again, which is what he did at the Little Chamita River before he came up here, and it kept him really nice and cool. I did that too at the waterhole that had the salamander in it. Downstream there, I got wet the shirt that I've got on now. It started to dry, but the clouds are coming in, so I think we'll have clouds as heat protection. Almost to the aspens. But here I want to stop. This is a remarkable Ponderosa Pine. And now that we're this close, we can see that a big part of it, you can see that scar on the right side low, got laid low. And then there's the aspen. I think the aspen stand behind there. So let's go check things out. We can see that it came down recently because there's still needles on it.
And some of the needles are even still a little green.
Yeah, oh, is that a woodpecker that flew up there?
This half of the tree itself is bigger than most ponzies. This is enormous.
Yeah, and you can see where it came down, there's no branches that other stem put out on this side.
You can also see a lightning bolt
Oh!
on the side that came
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Let's go up and take a look from that side. Okay, I stopped here because we'll see if the lighting works on it. You can see that some of the needles are actually still green. So this is very recent.
where the lightning blew off this other branch. So up until there, it was singular, and then it had two huge, like a fork. That's what this is that the fork that got blew off. But the combination of these two, like from where it blew off down to the ground, is larger circumference than almost any pondy I've ever seen.
Okay, we'll take a close look at that in a moment, but what I can see from the scar, now this is I can only see it with my eyes, you can't see it because the camera's blanking out there, but it only goes up part way, and so definitely the lightning struck this part over here, And it also kind of got a little bit of that one, but not much. Michael, could you walk down this trunk and get over to that giant branch that got blown off? I mean, that's not, it didn't fall on it or anything. I've seen that happen. That's one of the dangers.
Yeah, this branch right here broke off, for sure.
Yeah. Blew off. The lightning will do that. I've just come in through the shrubbery, so that's Michael for scale here on this lower part of the tree, which you can see how huge it is. But what's interesting is right here at the height you would expect, I've learned within the last year or so, that these things were often Indian scar trees. That is, the Native Americans, for medicinal, sacred reasons, would make these scars. You can see how old it is in here, because look at how the bark has grown over it. That shows it's very old. Also, it was some kind of an axe. I'm not an archaeologist, so I don't know this, but I'll go ahead and get a close-up here in case somebody wants to try to figure out. And then the bottom is round. Oh, what a magnificent, magnificent tree. Same pondy. Some goop coming out, and the thing that scared me here is it looks like sawdust at the top, and there was the hind end of a beetle in there. Oh no, I hope this isn't being attacked by bark beetles. Okay, this is where I was just looking. This is really bad. I look down farther and look at all these other places. Active sap with sawdust on top, meaning there is a beetle burrowing in there. Look at all of them here. Very sad only. Here you can see that kind of smooth, straight area. That's where the two trees were touching. And then not far from there is where there was space between them. Thunder, we felt a few drops, so we took shelter here in, this is a white fir. It's not too tall, so I'm not worrying about lightning in here. But look at it, it's completely surrounded by these Gambel Oaks. Not unusual. It may be the Gambel Oaks that actually provide sort of the nurse tree shade for white fir this far down from the slope to come in. Time for a sandwich. Well, we finished sandwiches, had a bit of a rest. That particular thunderhead passed with no real rain, and we're going to go look at the aspens, but I've never been inside a Gambel Oak shelter like this. Look at this. Look at all these Gambel Oak trunks, some big ones out there, and over on that side there too, and let me get around over here. Yeah, look at them all.
White fir and
over there, just completely surrounding, and in the very center is this white fir. I was using these two to recline against. And here are the beautiful, beautiful, soft needles of the white fir. Thank you, white fir. Just one more picture of our beautiful little nook in there. We left the pack in while we head out to the aspens. Here's another angle on this beautiful, beautiful tree system. And here's a look back at the ancient Ponderosa Pine.
great-grandfather Pondy.
Great-great-grandfather Pondy. So here we are approaching, some of them are alive. we'll go in and explore. I'm back in the aspens. This is a big elk poop. Just exploring here. Trying to figure out whether this is still a healthy stand. Down there along the edge, the big ones have died and it's taken over by Gambel Oak. You can see a lot of shrubbery here, Gambel Oak and shrubbery. When I've been in aspen stands before, it's pretty much aspen with just a grassy area underneath them. This area with all the shrubs, look how high they're growing up around these stems. Here you can see some more. The Gambel Oak. It may be that the shrubs are just getting too tall here. It's been too long since a fire. Aspens do well overall with having fire periodically. Even if all the stems get burnt, they come back from the roots unless it's a really, really devastating fire. So it may simply be not climate change here. The problem may simply be that it's not getting a fire. I'll continue exploring. It looks like a real healthy stand right in the center of the picture there of some young stems. Let's go take a look. So straight down there is a young aspen. They don't reproduce very often by seeds. In fact, they often don't seed at all. And the clone here would be male or female, I think. Anyway, there's another young one there, but I really I haven't seen any intermediate ones. These all would be growing, being put up from the roots by ones like this. And these are not that young. I thought I was into a young area. I'm going to keep exploring. But look at back there. Look at how tall the shrubbery is. I can get through here fairly easily because the elk maintain it. Now, I'm looking over at this white fir, and there's something strange at the base of it. Let me go up here. Is that some kind of a fungus? What is that? Wow. Huh. I'll go in a little closer. See what that is. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Okay. It's some kind of a shelf fungus. When I'm through photographing this, I'll reach under it and see if it's active, whether it's got some level of moisture under there or whether it's an old one. That's pretty spectacular. Let me get down under it here. Oh, yeah, there you can see the underside. Let's get a little closer. Whoa. Oh, yeah, I've seen this before. There's kinds of insects, wasps or little flies, that have their, lay their eggs and their little larvae, their little grubs, go through mushrooms and then they hatch. Wonder what that red stuff is. This is as far as I'm going to go. That mushroom was back there at the base of that white fir. But what's interesting to me here is you see the white stems and there's still healthy leaves up there. That area looks fairly healthy. But there's also a lot of young white fir coming in. I know aspen is an early successional stage, and so I'm thinking here it's not really a climate problem, but what it is that the Gambel Oak, the other shrubs, and the white fir are encroaching on them, and that unless there's a fire, white fir would be destroyed by a fire. They're going to probably keep declining. So I'll just do a 360 here. People who have a better understanding than I have of aspen successional stages and life cycle may be able to interpret what's going on here. But I have not seen, I've seen small little aspens, but I have not seen any medium level ones, you know, about as tall as me. These are not aspen here, that's a shrub. So I'm really not seeing that their roots are extending new aspen stems from them. Gambel Oak right to my right. Okay, I'll head back to where Michael is, beneath the aspens straight ahead. I'll pause a moment just to show the ground cover here. This is a very moist site here. Right in the center picture that I'm going in on, there's quite a few of these lilies. They might be the kind of blue flowered spiderwort, I'm not sure. I did want to point out there is a young aspen right there, but just to get a sense, yarrow, these tall grasses here. This is very, very moist area in here. Heading back. I'm standing on top of a beautiful prairie dog mound. Hasn't been dug out. You can see that's just a prairie dog size hole, not a foxhole. But look at all the wildflowers growing here. There's some of the genus Gilia, the scarlet bugles over there. And there's some of the cream-colored lupins. Earlier in the year, earlier in the summer, I saw purple lupins that were out. And then this really wonderful coneflower, very, very dark magenta burgundy. Just came from there. Hear a little thunder back there. And we're ultimately going to head over there. But first, we're going to go check out this stream area. You can see Michael already down there, because there's all these trees lining the stream. Let's see what it looks like. Well, it turns out that these Gambel Oak clumps are not lining the creek. It's just the usual down there, especially the cinquefoil. And Michael is taking advantage of an opportunity to rest. Down at the creek, there's some mints directly opposite there, and don't know whether someone dug that out or how that came to be, but this is what it looks like. Just the sort of typical cinquefoil and sedges and certainly irises. But we're going to head down now, follow this downstream. There was a clump of a very different looking vegetation, maybe willow, not at the stream, so I'm wondering if it's a spring, cienega. We'll go see. I haven't seen these before. These upright blue flowers look to me like a gentian. I'll pull back here. You can see there's a whole clump of them here. A lot of irises. This is just too cute. I've been walking through these grasses and there are all these elk beds in here. Quite a few back through there as well. Whole herd of elk beds down around here. Good view, easy to see predators, and look at that, you sometimes have some accessible water there. Here's the cienega. Michael again doing what Michael does. I tend to be slower than him, and then he takes rest breaks. Let's go take a look at what that vegetation there is. So this was dug out by humans, most likely with some kind of a bulldozer thing, because we're standing on a dam type thing here that's gotten totally vegetated. And here I see some vegetation I've seen nowhere else. This would be, see the umbels on there? This is wild celery. Some people have a poison ivy type reaction to it, so I won't even touch it. Looks a lot like poison hemlock, so who knows? Could be that too, but I think it's wild celery. And then here's a nettle right in front. There's a bunch of nettles. Painted ladies and red admirals, caterpillars, like to eat them. I haven't seen nettles anywhere else. There's another one right there. And I don't even have to touch it to know that that is a nettle. And these are, I think they're sandbar, what's called sandbar willows. That's the common name. Look how tall they get. But right here, you can see, oh, there's another nettle over there. You can see how this area gets completely nibbled down. In fact, the wild celery, it looks like, has been eaten to some extent. So we came from there, and look what we found on the opposite side of the soiled dam. A real pond. And then ultimately we're going to be heading back that valley there. Let's go take a look. There are froggies along the edge here. I caught a glimpse of one. It looked like a small leopard frog variety. Oh, beautiful dragonfly. Look at this dark green patch. That's the first place here that I've seen rushes. So the pond seeping through that dam area would allow this to happen. Let's go take a look. Sedges in front, sedges have edges, and rushes around. They're also always this darker green color, and there's some with reproductive structures right in front here. Native thistles, full of butterflies. The fritillaries, the orange ones over here. We've got some sulphur butterflies. And look at all those fritillaries back there. These are geraniums here. Very moist area in the sedges. Let's pan around. Michael has pointed out there's a whole lot of butterflies in that group of, I imagine it's native thistle, not the Russian thistle. The Russian thistle, I think, has huge heads. This has very small heads of flowers. Coneflowers right here by a beautiful prairie dog colony. No idea if they're active right now, but nobody's yelling at me from here. And this is a good place to stop and get a view of where the Coyote-style assisted migration has happened. Over on this west-facing slope, actually right in the center of the picture there, west-facing slope. And then just around the corner on a south-facing slope. And then this morning and a little bit yesterday afternoon, up there on a north-facing slope. Here is a sago lily. Most of them seem to be blooming 2 weeks ago. I see very few of the flowers out at this time. So we stopped for a rest on this little hill of grasses. And it's also a good place to see. That's the west-facing slope. There you can see that's kind of low ridge. That's the south-facing slope. And over on this side, with a real variegated edge to the forest, this is the north-facing slope. I still have the control to put in, and you know what? We're going to do that tomorrow. One last stop. That's the areas of planting up there, north-facing slope, south-facing slope, and here's the gully. And when we're back here, and this is what we like to do. Elk style, right?